All right, thank you, STL TV. June 4th, 2024, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We will now call the Legislation and Rules Committee to order. Or please call the roll.
Alderman Ryan.
Here.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. Alderwoman Velasquez.
Present.
Chair Valmer.
Present.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. We have 3 present. We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Quorum being present, I will move for approval of the minutes from Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Thank you. All right. Aura, please call the roll.
Alderman Ryan.
Aye.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. Alderwoman Velasquez.
Aye.
Chair Valmer.
Aye.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard. We have 3 aye votes.
All right, thank you so much. Line item number 4, board bills for review. Item number 1 will be board bill number 30, introduced by Alderman Aldridge. Alderman Aldridge, you are recognized. Please take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. Board Bill 30 is a board bill that would go to the ballot for the city of St. Louis residents to say yes or no on. It is around our budget process. As you know, Mr. Chairman, being I think former chair of budget, what this board bill would do is just it gives the ability for the board of aldermen to also have increasing abilities. Right now, during the process, which makes it kind of hard when we want to make suggestions for decreasing, we can do that, but we don't have an avenue to say, where we want to add the funds to. So a lot of times, or at least in my 2 years of being on budget, only thing we can really do is send a recommendation to ENA after we make the decision to make a decrease, then follow up and say where we will want the increase. The process will still start with ENA. It will come to the board. And during our deliberation process, what we'll be able to do is not just decrease, but increase. And then that decision will go to ENA before they it will go to the board, we'll vote on it. And then it goes to ENA still. So they would have the last say so on if they agree with the decrease or increase. But like I say, right now, we don't have the ability to. A lot of other city governments already do this coming from the State House. We got a balancing act, what we call is where you make a decrease. You also have to do that same amount in increasing. As well as St. Louis City Council, St. Louis County Council has the ability also to increase, but at the Board of Aldermen, we only have the ability to decrease. So it still would be balanced. Wherever we decrease, we have to increase with that same amount. But it looks kind of weird now when we try to make a decrease and it just shows a decrease without an increase. So it allows for voters to give the Board of Aldermen that ability to also increase. And I have 2 amendments for the legislation, and willing to bring them forward if that's okay with you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, as I said, I was hoping that you would have, since we're dealing with the budget process, I usually like to have, Paul Payne or someone from his office present, because I chaired what used to be the budget committee, it's currently called. We're adding a layer to this, and I'm curious as to what kind of timeline this lays upon us now to if we're going to get it from ENA, send it to the board, then send it back to ENA, and then the ENA, where does the circle end once we've done that? But ENA, according to your description, still has the ability to say no to what we're doing, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so yes, sir. It'll stay on the same timeline. Only thing this does is, again, gives the board the ability to, when we're making our recommendations, so we'll be doing that tomorrow in budget, when we make the recommendations outside of just saying, here's what the decrease is, we also will have the ability to say, hey, if I'm taking 200 from NIS and I believe it should go to the circuit attorney office, we could show where that increase is. Right now, it's kind of weird because we only can just say, hey, I want to take 200 from NIS and see that they're not going to fill those staff, and want to give a recommendation to ENA to allow for it to be increased. So the process wouldn't change if this is passed and it goes to the ballot. It wouldn't affect this budget cycle. And honestly, we're already doing the increase, but it's in a way where we only can just say we recommend the increase.
Yeah, I know the process well. Now, is this, and curious because I haven't gone through everything the Charter Commission is coming up, or does the Charter Commission have anything to do with this already? Or are we jumping the gun with something that they're recommending beforehand? Because now, as you know, we have to have a couple of extra meetings for the process of the Charter Commission. Should we be working hand in hand with them, or is taking a step out of this is what I'm, they're recommending it, but we're kind of doing, I don't know, I saw this and was wondering why we just don't do this all at once, because it's not going to happen right away, if we're going to do this as with the Charter Commission recommendations.
Yeah, so this is one of the recommendations from the Charter Commission, and the goal, if this legislation comes out of committee and also move forward to the board, I would hold it on the informal until we figure out what the Charter Commission is doing. I've been following a lot of their meetings, and I think they are coming up with good ideas. The fear is just wanting to be proactive because they are on a timeline crunch. And just watching last night's meeting, they brought like 50 plus recommendations just to get drafted. And if we have to have special meetings, hopefully we get it done. But if we don't, just want to be proactive to take one of the recommendations that they're working on to make sure it still get through the proper channels, because new members on the Charter Commission, but I would also say they may not have the best support to know how to move these things in a quick time frame.
No, and I'm just all for working hand, I don't want to see like we're trying to, I guess, be subversive to their actions and work along with them. What we can do here today, and you know how much I hate having more meetings, but I would like to, if we can put your amendments on this, clean this up and make it what you want it to be. I wouldn't mind having another meeting. We could even do it. I'll check my calendar next week and just have Paul Payne. I would just like on the record to have his opinion of what's occurring here. And that is something we can use with the Charter Commission too, I believe. So that let's dot our T's and cross our I's, as my grandpa used to say. And let's clean it up and do all your amendments, and then we'll hold on to this, and you can contact Mr. Payne and have him speak before us, see what his schedule looks like.
Okay.
Okay. And because I just want, with all this happening with the Charter Commission, I don't want, because I've seen some of the ins and outs, and maybe they don't understand our process. Like you say, there's a lot of new people there. I don't want someone on that commission to feel like all of a sudden we're just doing something without them.
No, I absolutely understand, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. Let's pragmatic is my middle name. Got me beat up a lot in grade school, but
no, yeah,
okay.
that's totally. And then I think they did adopt some newer language, so that makes sense around the budget to be able to make sure they finally sent those recommendations. So we could clean it up now and then bring Paul Payne in front of us, and I'll also talk with the Charter Commission to make sure that it's in line.
Yeah.
Again, not trying to step on.
Let the left hand know what the right hand's doing is always best. That fun.
Say no more. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so if you'd like to proceed with your process here, you have amendment number 1.
I would move to bring Amendment 1 in front of the committee. It's a simple amendment. What it just basically says, this amendment puts this ballot language, or it puts the language to be on the ballot November 5th, which is a same time frame that the Charter Commission is moving, but we didn't have the date in the bill, so we just move for adoption of Amendment 1 to say that it would be on November 5th of 2024.
All right, do we have any questions from the committee as far as amendment number 1?
Just one question. Is Alderman, because I don't believe Alderman Aldridge is on this committee, is he? So someone else.
No, he can't make a motion. I was just no. I was
okay.
I was
just trying to clear that.
That was his introduction.
Yes.
So we're not adopting yet. That was his explanation of his amendment. At this point, if you have any questions, once we get through the questions and comments, and we'll allow an adoption, and then we'll put the baby out to pasture. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. So any questions of the sponsor, Alderman Ryan?
No questions. Thank you.
Okay. Alderman Velasquez, any questions of the sponsor on his amendment?
No.
All right. With that, I'll entertain a motion for amendment number 1 to Board Bill 30.
So moved.
I move that we adopt amendment number 1 to Board Bill 30.
Well, we got 2 adoptions. I need a second.
I'll second it.
All right. We can call the roll or call for previous roll.
Previous roll.
Here now objection, previous roll, amendment number 1 to Board Bill 30 has now been adopted.
And
All right,
Mr.
Alderman, go ahead.
Definitely never trying to tell you what to do, but can we do previous roll if it was just roll call that?
You want a roll call on that as opposed to previous roll?
I was just not sure if we could do the since the first vote was
No, you
just
can do previous roll for approval of minutes.
say no
that's
more. Oh yeah, you did it. Okay, you're right. Let
Yeah.
me stand by. my lane.
Yeah, in the old days when we had so many meetings and too many, everybody would make the approval minutes vote and then they had to run off and scurry all their other committees.
Oh no,
So,
you're absolutely right. So now I'll just bring amendment number 2 in front of the
All right.
committee. Amendment 2 is just filling in that it would be Proposition B. It didn't have that was one of the things that was left out, that it'd be Proposition B going to the Board of Elections, and that is the amendment.
all right. Alderman Ryan, any questions of the sponsor on amendment 2?
No questions.
All right, Alderwoman Velasquez, any questions of the sponsor?
No.
All right, I have none either. With that, we'll entertain a motion to adopt amendment number 2 to Board Bill 30.
I
So
move
moved.
to adopt amendment
I'll
number
second.
2 to Board Bill 30.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. Previous roll. Oh, Alderwoman Clark Hubbard is here currently. I'm sure she'll have a objection to previous roll, so. Do you need any explanation on, we're on amendment number 2 to Board Bill 30. It's been moved and seconded. We're just calling this thing Proposition B, as it had no proposition in there before. So any questions, Alderman Hubbard? Okay. So we have the motion in a second.
Not trying to challenge you again, Mr. Chair. Since she just came, can we do previous row since she wasn't on the previous row?
No, I'm asking if there's an objection to previous roll. No objections? None?
Objection.
Okay, there we go. Well, I can't object to it. All right, Aura, please call the roll.
Alderman Ryan,
Aye.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard,
Aye.
Alderwoman Velasquez,
Aye.
Chair Vollmer.
All right,
We have 4 aye votes.
all right, with that, we have Board Bill number 30 as amended now in our midst. And if, is there anything you'd like to say before we close out for today and get hold of Mr. Payne and do this next week and write it out?
Yep, nope. I appreciate people's attention to it. I also appreciate your comments, Mr. Chairman. I will make sure I reach out to the director, see if he can do next week same time so that we can get his input and just ensure that the language is aligned with.
Yeah, and I'm fine with him if he's unable to make the meeting, just written testimony or written comments that we can have entered into the record. Anything with the budget, I like to have the budget director's input on it. So when they come back in 100 years and say, how the hell did that happen? They'll say, well, Paul Payne said it was okay.
That sounds good with me.
All right. With that, we have no resolutions for review, no committee discussions. Do we have any written testimony, Aura?
No written testimony.
Any announcements from any of the members of the board or for our clerk? No announcements. No excused aldermen. We're all present. Thank you so much. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn till
So moved.
second,
And
Second.
previous roll.
Roll.
All right, here no objection, previous roll. Thank you all for your time and we'll get this thing done. Thank you so much. Have a good day.